Hello guys, what's going on? Today we're gonna look at our white deck again, and I received this in the mail, so it's only appropriate that I look at my white deck and try to get a room for this one. Uh, I've gotten almost all the bubbleheads. I'm waiting for the perception bubblehead, but it's been lost in the mail. I don't know where it is, but I'm still waiting for it. Hopefully, it will arrive before Christmas. But we'll see if it arrives at all. But I've at least gotten this, so I'm gonna put that in my deck. I also gotten this land, which looks pretty nifty. So that's gonna be replaced by a basic land. And you choose a color and add to your mana pool an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. And there's lots of creatures in this deck, so there's gonna be lots of devotion to white in this deck. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome. There's also a trio of lands here. Urza's Tower. It only gives one colorless mana, but when all three are in play, then you get bonuses. Here's the Mine of Ursa. So two of them give two colorless mana. And I believe the tower gives one more, so three there. Yeah, so it says it. So that gives a total of 3, 5, and 7 if you have all lands in play. Yeah. I'm also considering this, but I think it will be a little bit overkill, so maybe I'll drop it. But it's the Fountain of Cho, and you can just put a lot of charge counter on it for each upkeep, and suddenly you have a lot of counters, and you can pay for whatever you want in white. And since my deck is mono white, then that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. I also got this little guy. It's Gauntlet of Power. As Gauntlet of Power comes to play, choose a color. Creatures with a chosen color get +1/+1, but here's the kicker. Whenever a basic land is tapped for a mana of the chosen color, its controller adds 1 mana of that color to his or her mana pool. So that means each time I tap a land for mana, I get 2 mana instead of 1. So it's pretty good. So, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go through my deck one by one card here and see if something can be replaced. And it's easy to replace the lands because it's just basic lands in here. I don't think I got any special lands. So let's just begin with replacing this land with Shrine to Nyx. Yeah. So there we go. And this is pretty good. This is awesome. Yeah. It's a bit expensive though. I checked on eBay, so I'm lucky to have it. Okay. Next is Celestion Archon. It's got a bestow cost, so if you cast this card for its bestow cost, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. And it becomes a creature if the creature with the enchant dies. So it's pretty good. Yeah. And And whoop-de-doo, guys. I think I may have made a mistake here. Because, well, the Perception Bubblehead suddenly turned up in my deck here. So maybe it just arrived ultra fast. I don't know. But here it is. So I don't know if I had it before or if it's just arrived very early and I didn't notice it and I just added it to my deck in my sleep or something. Yeah, I did watch the American election, so maybe it was that. It was late in the night, so Trump did win, by the way. So yeah, oh well. But no, I'm glad I have this, so I don't have to worry about it. Another basic land. We're gonna just replace this again with. Let's replace it with Ursus Tower. Yep. Done and done. What's this? When Ursus landmark into the battlefield, scratch your craft with artifacts. Okay. Exile this artifact. Exile another artifact in control or an artifact card from a graveyard. And return this transformed. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so it's a way to give another creature flying then? Something? Yeah, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I have to try to play with the card and see. I have no idea. It seems a bit complicated, to be honest with you. Destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. Scry 1. This seems pretty good. So I guess I have to have some Zapper cards in here. Yeah. Another basic land card that goes out in favor of. Yeah, Urza's Mine then. We'll put that in here. So now we got Urza's Mine in play. Cool. This guy, when Knight Captain of Eos comes into play, put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play. I think I got some soldier creature tokens somewhere. Yeah. Sacrifice a soldier, prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn. So, yeah, really good. Creatures in control have first strike. Yeah. Creatures your opponent control lose first strike and can't have or gain first strike. Pretty awesome indeed. Yeah. Here's another land, replacing it with Ursus Power Plant, which looks like that. Yeah. So which one do you think is the best power plant? Is it this? Or is it this? It's the same card, but it's 2 different artworks here. Actually, I think I like this more, so I'm gonna use that instead. I don't know. This looks a bit amateurish. I don't know. Oh. So we're scrapping that and we're adding that. Yeah. When Meadow Boon leaves play, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I get to put a counter on all my creatures, naturally. This creature can't be blocked except by flying. Yeah, of course. When Victoria's Hero attacks attacking creature gains flying and lifelink until end of turn. Yeah, I believe this is pretty good. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do that actually. I'm not too sure about this guy, so I'm gonna put it in my maybe pile and replacing it with something more powerful and something more, yeah, usable. Land. I am still considering this. Maybe I'll add it. I don't know. It's a good way to get a lot of mana quickly, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's a fun card. I'll just add it. But now I've removed 5 basic lands. I hope that won't eat me in the butt. There we go. Choose one. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn, or creatures you control get 0/2. Oh, that's cool. So it can be a defensive card, but it can also be used to do a lot of damage. So return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty good. I'm starting to get a lot of artifacts in here, so probably good to have that. I will not be removing any more lands or basic lands. Target creature can block any number of creatures this turn, which is pretty good. I'm not aware of any other colors that does that. Flying first strike when White Orchid Phantom enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-basic land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Yeah. Pretty good if you need to remove a pesky land that an opponent controls. Plains, Colossus. Pretty good this though. It's a bit expensive, but oh well. Ah, that's where my that's where these come into play, right? So if I got all these, then I got suddenly 2, 4, 7 extra colorless mana, which is nice for this dude. He only costs colorless mana, so. Okay, what's this? Flying when Revolve leaves play, return up to 2 target creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to play. Okay. I think I got a few of those. Planes, that's good. What's this? It's whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you, and your planeswalker draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. Nice way to draw cards there. Survival at the beginning of your second main phase. Okay. If Savior of the Small is tapped, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty awesome. Pretty good. Yeah. Basically. Whenever another creature with power or less, with 2 power or less, sorry, enters the battlefield under your control, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I don't know if I have so many creatures with 2 or less, but I guess I do. I think I do. Double strike. Whenever Goring Ceratops attacks, all their creatures you control gain double strike until end of turn. Pretty good. And this is also pretty good. It's Sword of Light and Shadow. You just basically get 2/2, and you've got protection from white and from black. So creatures with the white and black can't attack the creature with this sword. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 3 life, and you may return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So yeah, this is starting to look pretty awesome. And this is basically a creature, but it's also Well, it's a board wipe, in essence, yeah. And you put a X-X colorless artifact creature into play with where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. So it can become pretty big if I play against a lot of creature-heavy decks. Planes, nothing to see there, really. Whenever frontline magic and at least 2 other creatures attack creatures you control are indestructible this turn. Very nice. And this is just basically a card to get out artifact I want into, or equipment card actually. So yeah, it's not an artifact but an equipment. But this is an equipment, I think. Yeah, it says so. Equipped creature is unblockable and can't be the target of spells or abilities. Pretty good. Later they called that Shroud to save text space. If equipped creature would deal combat damage, it deals double that damage instead. Oh, that's pretty good. If another creature would deal combat damage to an equipped creature, it deals double that damage to an equipped creature instead. So it's a, yeah, it's a double-edged sword, this, but it's still pretty cool. So planes. And what's this? It's artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Spellbook, gonna put that in my maybe pile. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be discarding too many cards in this deck, so why bother? Planes. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. As long as enchanted creature is a human, it has first strike. That's also pretty decent. Reveal X white cards from your hand. Sacrifice Martyr of Sands. Okay. You gain 3 times X life. A nice defensive measure there. Land. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may put that many 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play. Oh, pretty good. You may play equip abilities anytime you could play an instant. Yeah, I guess it's okay. I got a few equipments in here. Land. Each player loses 1 life for each swamp he or she controls. That's awesome. Sacrifice land, destroy target enchantment. Okay. Oh well, it's okay. Planes, and what's this? Flying subject angel enters the battlefield, tap all creatures your opponents control. That is awesome. And this is also good. So it just basically, she gives me 1 life for each creature that comes into play. Can't beat it, man. And this dude, double strike, protection from black and from green. So it's pretty epic stuff. Yeah. Enchanted creature gets X-X, where X is equal to the number of cards in your hand. Wow. Planes. Charisma Bubblehead. Pretty good. It's an artifact, so. Yeah. Each equipment attached to it. That's also pretty good. So it's sort of a Voltron deck in effect here. Voltron Mini. When Ironclad and Slayer enters the battlefield, you may return target aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Which, in itself, is pretty good. Agility Bubblehead. There we go. So now I got 3 in here. Plus this, which I just received in the mail, so that's 4. There should be 7 total. That was a plains. So bestow hopeful Aidilon. Lifelink. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. That's pretty good. Another bestow creature, Eidolon of Countless Battles. Yeah, you can also bestow it. So that means enchanting another creature you own. Eidolon of Countless Battles and enchanted creature each get +1/+1 for each creature you control and +1/+1 for each aura you control. Okay, so you get to become real big, real fast. Plains. Another one of these bestow creatures. It's an elk, and whenever a Lord's emissionary or enchanted creature attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. And it also gets 3/3. Tap X target creatures, grind 1. It's awesome. Plains. All creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. And as you can see, you don't tap it. So if you got enough, you can pay 9 and they suddenly get, for example, 3/3. First strike. Yeah. And you can also give it protection from the color of your choice. Plains. Armored Skyhunter. When an Armored Skyhunter attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put an aura or command card from among them into the battlefield. If an equipment is put into the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control, but the rest of those cards on the bottom of your library in any random order. Really good. Here we got Shadow. Not many of my friends have Shadow, so that's fun. So if they don't have Shadow, then it just goes straight over the defense, man. Plains. Angel of Jubilation. Other non-black creatures you control get +1/+1. Players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate abilities. Whenever this creature... No, equipped creature has whenever this creature attacks or blocks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each attacking creature. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Whenever a soldier creature comes into play, you may attach veterans' armaments to it. Yeah. Plains. First strike, Paladin Envec. Okay. And it's got protection from black and protection from red. Look at him. He looks pretty mean. Yeah. As long as Earl Glaive Mastery is equipped, it gets +1/+1 and has first strike. Pretty good. Plains. Another plains there. Vigilance. Other soldier creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. When captain of the watch enters the battlefield, put 3 1/1 white creature soldier tokens into the battlefield, which is pretty good. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter in wedding announcement. If you're attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then, if wedding announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it. And by transforming it, normal cards have this on the back, but this one has 2 sides, so that means it becomes this. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Yeah. So that's pretty fun. Cards don't have to be imba good. They also have to be fun, and that's a fun card. Aerial Responder, it says here. Flying Vigilance Lifelink. It's okay, I guess. Flying, and you can play it for as an instant, since it says flash here. If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead. Pretty good. Planes, Sacrifice, Enchantment Keeper, Encampment Keeper, sorry. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. And it's also pretty cheap to get out there. It only costs 1, so that's pretty epic right there. Yeah. Another Bestow card. You can cast it for its original cost and just make it a creature, but it's more fun to pay the Bestow cost and enchant a creature. Then that creature gets Vigilance and 2/2. When that creature dies, this suddenly appears. Yeah. So Bestow is highly overpowered and highly very fun. Commanders you control have Ward, and this is awesome. Jesus, this is good. Yeah. Whenever Fiend Binder attacks, stop target creature defending player controls. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Planes. Yeah. The luck bubblehead. So it involves rolling a 6-sided die. I've not quite understood it yet. So I've read lots of guides on it on the YouTube, but still don't understand it. Oh well. Maybe my friends can explain it to me when I play against them tonight. Pretty basic and pretty fun equipment. It's a +1/+1, but as long as equipped creature is a human, it gets an additional +1/+1. So yeah, there's that. Planes. Flying, double strike. Okay. Bird Warrior. You may cast this card face up anytime for its Megamorph cost and put a +1/+1 counter on it. Gonna put this in my maybe pile. It's overly complicated. Cards don't need to be that complicated, man. Enchanted creature gets 10/10 and has trample and annihilator 2, which basically means whenever it attacks, defending player sacrifices 2 permanents. And permanents are everything that's permanently on the field. It can be enchantments, lands, and creatures, and artifacts. Planes. Intelligence Bubblehead. So there's that. Okay. Yeah, another way to get another artifact back in play. And of course, my commander. I can't forget about him. He costs only 1, so he gets out there pretty easily, pretty fast, and he's got Toxic 1. And he can't block this poor dude, unfortunately, but he can. I can choose a color, and another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from the color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So a bit complicated text there. They could have written it a little bit differently, but there you go. It's a pretty powerful commander because of his, well, cheap cost and toxic. So let me just count the bubbleheads then. 1, 2, 2 bubbleheads there. I may have made a complete ass of myself and missed a bubblehead, maybe. But let's hope I haven't. 3, that's the agility one. 4. 5. Aren't there 7 bubbleheads total? Because there's 5 bubbleheads here. And I got this one here, so that's 6. Okay, so help me out here. It's strength, it's dexterity. Charisma. Luck. Maybe there is only 6. I have no idea. But, oh well. Okay. So these are the cards that are in my maybe pile. It's this dude. It's pretty good. I'm not too sure about it though, but it's pretty good. It only costs 1 to get out there, and I scry 2 and craft with artifacts. I don't know. I have to excel in artifacts to get it working. Yeah. Because how many creatures do I have with flying in here? That's important too. That's 1 flying. Okay. Okay, so maybe I don't have another flying in this deck though. That's 1 flying there. So 2 flying, 3 flying. 4. Oh. Five, six, seven, eight. Okay, so 8 flying creatures then I have in here. I guess that's not too many creatures, so maybe I should just keep this around. I think uh, it's nice to have, I guess. Yeah, it's nice to have. So changing this guy up, he's too complicated, even though he has double strike. But he can be actually quite good. If he has double strike, does toxic apply twice? Huh. Uh, scry to. Yeah, okay. Decision time. This is actually quite good. I will change this out with this, I think, because this is much better than this. And I have to sacrifice an artifact to flip it around, so. But giving another creature flying is still quite powerful. And there's a fun factor to it. Ah, Jesus. I really wanted to add this, but okay, it's not going in there. Anywho, it's a bit expensive. And I like this card. It's pretty fun and it's cool. This, even though it's nice to don't have to discard cards. Uh, Okay. Yeah. So that's it. I basically just changed this with this, and the other cards are staying. So there we go. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching my update on my white deck. I need to figure out how many bubbleheads there are. I hope there's 6, that I got everything set up and ready to go here, but I have a small suspicion that I may be missing a bubblehead, that there's 7 bubbleheads total, but can't be sure. But anywho, thank you very much for watching this stream, and thank you to, well, I got 2 members now. I got Sam Wall and I got Big Boss, so a heart goes out to both of those for being a member on my channel. And if you like what I do, please consider being a member as well. It really supports the channel and helps me do what I do and buy more boosters and Magic the Gathering junk and do, yeah, whatever. So this is the Strength Bubblehead saying, have yourself a really nice weekend. Take care. Bye bye.